Hey, Steve Mignani doing the Junkyard Crawl here at Berniston Auto Wrecking in Berniston, Massachusetts with a 1983 Dodge Ram 150 Custom Miser. Now here's the thing, here it says Ram, and of course this is April. In fact, right now it's April 15th. Yes, it's tax day 2022. But if you watch your TV set this month, you'll see that this is Ram Truck Month. There's ads from Ram wheeling and dealing on Ram trucks of all types. But now you might wonder, when did this whole Ram business start? We know that in 2013, Dodge trucks became Ram trucks, and you don't call a Dodge truck a Ram anymore. When did it start? Well, 1981 was when Dodge started using the Power Ram term. Now, they were still sold by Dodge dealerships, and again, this is a 1983 Ram by Dodge, as it were. Now, something about this 1983, this is about the 11th year for this styling cycle, but check this out. The door, when these first came out in 1972, they had a pull handle. Here's the recess for it right here. Well, around about 1979-80, Dodge went to a button pull type door thing, but they kept the stamping. So it speaks to the fact that while today Ram is kind of the industry leader, although the F-Series pickup does outsell it. But with that said, the new Rams are styling trendsetters. But for this period of time, Dodge was playing follow, the leader. And in fact, the 72 up Dodge Ram looks an awful lot like the 73 up Chevy, half-ton, the square box trucks, square bodies. So anyway, let's look under the hood of this one here. Now this one here, we can see there's a sticker, the catalyst information, the emission sticker, 225 cubic inches, right there, 225. So this was a slant 6 truck. Now keep in mind, the Miser package was about fuel economy, and the Miser was available with the Omni, the Horizon, and the Charger in 1983 as well, and they were all for optimized fuel economy. So this was a slant 6 truck. Now check this out, the slant 6 was used in these things with a single barrel carburetor or a 2-barrel carburetor, and it would have had 95 horsepower and 170 foot-pounds of torque to move a 150 series Dodge pickup truck. Now 1988 brought the 3.9 liter V6. Power went from 95 to 125 horsepower, and torque went from 170 to 195. So a couple of years after this thing was built, 5 years after, the 3.9 V6 would replace the slant 6 and add a bunch of power. And that 3.9 V6 was a 318 LA with 2 cylinders lopped off the back. So anyway, let's take a peek here as we continue our mission, and you can see this was a power steering truck. Right there's the pump, power disc brakes, and no air conditioning. This is just the regular heater. Here's the air cleaner, a single snorkel air cleaner, suffering the ravages of New England rust. Look at that. I've never seen that. I've spent time in California, and I miss rust-free California metal, because here in the Northeast, this is the kind of stuff you got to deal with. But getting back to the Miser. The Miser package, while it maximized fuel economy, it included some, well, extra goodies. The bright grille, instead of the matte plastic, this bright finish here was something that was seen on the Miser, and also on the front fender and door. We'll see it's faded now, but this gold vinyl striping was also an indicator of the Miser. Now, if we go inside, there's more Miser stuff going on, and that includes a carpet instead of the black rubber. This would have been a blue carpet way back when, and that was part of the Miser, and also the wood grain on the dash was part of the Miser package as well. But getting back to the core mission of the Miser, this was a 4-speed. Now here's the thing, this hump right here looks like an add-on thing, and it is. The crazy part is this is a die-cast or a plastic metal, anyway, it's a hump that's added onto the floor, and right through here is where the A833 4-speed transmission stick would have come through. So that's kind of cool, right? Well, not so fast. Beginning in 1975, the A833 was also available as an overdrive. So that means 4th gear or top gear was not 1-to-1. It was actually 0.73. So for instance, if you had a 355 rear axle ratio, when you put in overdrive, 0.73, it became like a 260-to-1 axle. So again, the Miser was about saving fuel. Anyway, beyond that, inside of this thing, it's reasonably well preserved, kind of austere. And again, Dodge at this point in time was not leading the industry with innovation. They were playing, follow the leaders, Chevrolet and Ford, or actually Ford and Chevrolet in that order. sure. But again, these were serviceable. They sold well enough. And of course, 1983 was just a couple of years before the birth of the Cummins diesel, which really revolutionized things. Now, options on this one, we do see a sliding rear window, the cab window right there. Okay, but this was an option from the factory. And this one is a long bed, and we can see it has the plastic gas tank. And keep in mind that in certain pickup trucks in the 50s and 60s, into the early 70s, gas tanks could be found inside the cab behind the seat, where, you know, in a rollover crash or something like that, maybe not so good to have 18 gallons of gasoline in the cab with you. But again, as the safety thing started to kick in more and more, plastic gas tanks like this mounted inside the frame rail, where they can't get broken as easily by a side impact, became the rule rather than the exception. Now, the rear axle on this one is telling. This is not a Dana 60 like you'd find in a 2500 or a 3500 series Ram or a Dodge pickup at this time, but this is the 8 1/4 right here. Now, that's an axle that arrived in 1969 for use in B bodies with, you know, 318s and stuff. But this one here is not a sure grip, open dip. We can see it right there, the spider gears and stuff. But the skinny ring gear right there tells us that's probably a 321 or maybe a 294 axle, which again is part of the low RPM Miser package about maximizing fuel economy. The step bumper on the back, these were factory options right here, the step bumper with a tow hitch. Now, keep in mind, that's a fairly heavy duty trailer hitch right there. Can you only imagine 95 horsepower, an overdrive transmission, trying to pull anything up a hill? You know, we've come so far, and we talk about, you know, Ram truck month. Today, you can now get 700 horsepower in your Ram truck, or even, you know, the Hellcat powered vehicles and stuff like that. But how far we've come. But again, the Ram name began in 1981 with a Power Ram. And of course, this 1983 Ram Miser is one of the many important bricks in the chimney that brought us to where we are now in the Dodge truck dynasty. Well, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the Steve Maggs YouTube channel. We've got plenty more here from Bernstein Auto Wrecking.